it's game time. It's Miller time. From the Quantum Fiber Studio
This is Bump and Stacy.
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now.
Opening day right around the corner. We are less than 10 days, 9 days away from opening day for the Seattle Mariners. A lot to talk about when it comes to this team, and I know we'll have to wait. We'll have to wait to see what version we're actually going to get. Is it going to be the version Jerry Dipoto and Justin Hollander are convinced they'll get, with everyone having a bounce-back year and this team performing better than expected? I don't know. Are they going to dig themselves into a hole? I hope not, but we're going to find that out early. At the very least, I have some preseason rankings. So what we can do to get this set up is look at where the Mariners are right now and where experts outside of Seattle expect them to be and kind of project their season. I have good news and bad news. The bad news is that they are not a top 10 team in terms of the Athletics' recent preseason rankings.
Were you expecting that?
No, not at all.
Okay.
Not at all. The good news, if you want to look at it this way, kind of a silver lining approach, is that nor are the Astros and Rangers. Now, if the Rangers stay healthy, I know that there are people that are really high on who that team can be, but the Athletic has the Astros at 8, the Rangers at 9, the Mariners at 11. The entire AL West, just kind of, at least the three teams that'll be competing, clumped together there. If you want to look at the bright side, it could be another tight divisional race.
Yeah, you're not too far behind the ops, and that's where you want to be, at least preseason rankings. And we all know preseason, right? It's just a way to try to separate teams and give some expectation, and that's completely fine. Mm-hmm. I think the biggest expectation, obviously, for the Seattle Mariners is, can Julio improve on his last couple of years? His WAR has gone down every year and went from 6, like a 5.3 to a 4.3. And Passan believes he can be a 10 type of guy. There's not too many guys out there. So, yes, it's contingent on Julio stepping his game up, then obviously that rotation doing their thing when you look across the division. Other teams have questions, too. I know we focus here on the Seattle Mariners, obviously, because this is our team, but other teams have questions, too. You're looking at the Rangers. DeGrom, what's he going to look like? 3 starts in the season last year, 10 innings, 11 hits, 4 earned runs, 14 Ks, coming off that UCL injury. How are they going to ramp him up? Word around spring training is they're taking their time with him, as they should, because they know just how important he is. Second Tommy John surgery. Mm-hmm. You got to be cautious with that. So everyone asks questions. You go over to the Astros, Yordan Alvarez. He's always been the guy over there. Last 4 seasons, I believe, with 30-plus home runs. But now Tucker's out of there.
One I'd like to forget forever.
Exactly. Tucker's out of there. He's with the Cubs. The little guy, Jose Altuve, is 35 years old
and
this
in
year.
Left field now.
You know, there's some change going on. So, yes, and when we talk about these other teams, I think it's easy for us to buy in to the possibility of them doing some good things because we've seen them do it year after year. And I say names like Yordan Alvarez and Altuve, and then you got DeGrom over there with the Rangers. There are some names over here, too. Not the names that I think hold the weight that some of these other teams have, but you know what the saving grace is here? It's that rotation. Brash, can he bounce back and do his thing? We know who's going to be on the mound for opening day. That's what I focus at. So it was nice to research these teams again and get ready for the season and realize that you're not the only ones with a few questions, though. You do believe that these teams are probably more equipped going into the season to start off high.
Yeah, and the Astros have, and their fans have, the World Series appearances, World Series wins, the competitive drive and real effort and aggressive team building to lean on, where even if they look at it and they go, how's Altuve going to do in left field? Is, their number one prospect, what's his name, Cam Smith, is he going to be debuting with the team? Is that going to mess up his development, or is he going to be a pleasant surprise? Like that, you're right. They have their own questions and they have their own things they're looking at. I think it would be so much easier for me to be fully a glass half full approach if this team had given people playoff appearances and had given people a lot to build off of. Instead, we're waiting to see whether this bet, this gamble that Jerry and Justin have made on themselves is going to pay off. I can at least give them that we don't know it won't. And you can say whatever you want. I think I've been pretty critical of the team. You can say whatever you want about me being optimistic about that, but I don't know what you guys do with your day and what you do for work. I need to talk about this team for hours every single week. I would love to talk about a winning team. Yeah. That's what I'm hoping for. It literally my livelihood depends on ideally them being a winning team. So yeah, I desperately love them to do that. And I can at least recognize that I don't know what's going to happen.
No, no one does. But you do have a few names that you can point to and get optimistic about, right? Randy, a full year with Randy. Victor, can he be the guy that we
Right.
saw that was hot as heck?
Right.
Julio, everyone thinks he's going to improve this year. Cal, you're going to strike out. You're going to get some bombs over there. JP, can you improve at the shortstop spot? Defensively, you've been okay. Offensively, we need that guy who used to get on every single time it felt like when he was in the batter's box. So there's some things that need to happen. Then you're trying to figure out what's going on at second base. Who did we speak to yesterday? Gary. Gary said, look, Bliss is making a real push to be the starter at second base. And that's something I like to hear. No offense to Demo. If it's Demo at second base, then so be it. I'm going to ride with it. But the deeper you are, the better, because we know that Demo can play anywhere. You put Demo first, second, third, shortstop, anywhere to outfield. He can probably catch if you needed him to. It's nice to have some young guys kind of pushing at that position because it just adds more depth to this whole situation. And we know you're going to need contributions to guys lower in the order. You're going to need to have those nights where maybe the top of the order is struggling a little bit, and you have some veteran leadership down there and some new blood. So those are the things that I focus on, but I also understand that you got to be extremely healthy with those arms in that rotation. Guys need to take another step forward in their career, and you need some help. And for most teams in the bigs, that's the situation. But for most teams in the bigs, they don't have that 5-man rotation that you got over here. So you got to lean on that. Obviously, everyone knows that.
Speaking of the competition at second, I want to focus on that for 30 seconds here. You can only read so much into Cactus League play or spring training numbers in general, right? Sometimes you can have a horrendous spring